In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Military people remain fit physically and psychologically. As a matter of fact, these soldiers, they have to keep themselves prepared for all the time, because at any moment, either in case of a foreign invasion, in case of a foreign threat, or a domestic emergency, these people will be able to cope up the trouble, the difficulty these people have to encounter, the emergencies happening with the nation, and for this purpose, the militaries of each and every country, these are kept fit and in a position that at any time a kind of need is felt, realized, a kind of emergency has emerged. Now, these people will take on that emergency instantly without any sort of delay, and they will be performing at their level best. Now, we people, me and you, we don't have to be, we are not a part of the military at all, and we don't have to become a part of military as well. But at the same time, the kind of life we are living here, particularly in a society like Pakistan, we do have to remain prepared for some sort of emergency, because it is the individual only, particularly if the individual is a commoner and does not belong to the elite class, does not have a very good contacts, does not have a lot of finances, influence or otherwise. Now this person have to take on the emergency if it does occur upon him or her on one's own. So, for that reason, it is very important for the people living in Pakistan, for the people living in a society like that of ours, that they should remain fit. Although the kind of fitness needed here is of slightly different type, although as for the physical fitness is concerned, the physical fitness is needed whether we belong to the military or we don't belong to the military. For the sake of good health and for the sake of longevity, we do have to keep ourselves fit. We should try our level best to keep ourselves fit. And as far this fitness is concerned, it is not only needed when we want to live a life of longevity or a good health. Rather, any sort of emergency might happen at any time, and we do have to encounter it. We do have to face it upon we ourselves, and maybe the state is not going to take the responsibility, and maybe we don't have much of the helpers. For that reason, I think it is very important, it is very important indeed, that we too, like the military, although the kind of exercises I am going to suggest today are the very simple one, and not so difficult, not so complicated. It is not going to be it is not going to be an Herculean task at all. It is not going to be uh, rocket science at all. It is something simple, but it is not as easy as most of the people think, because if it becomes very easy, then it is going to be useless at all as well. We don't have to become a useless, and we don't have to do the things which are actually something useless, of no use and no benefit. Now, first of all, I think we need to keep collecting a little bit of money. We need to save a little bit of money at least, so that as and when a kind of emergency occurs, we should be able we should be able to we should be able to fulfill this need of ours from our own pocket. Maybe because the people are not going to be of much help. Excuse me. For that reason, some sort of saving is necessary, rather, it is quite necessary. Then we need to maintain a kind of good public relationship, a repo, that is also needed. I'm not suggesting that we should be spending maximum amount of our time or energy upon the two of these things. Not at all. Rather, it should remain in our mind, and we should be found doing something or the other for the two of these things. And thirdly, which is of extreme importance, which is of the highest importance, is that on the one hand we need to learn to delay the gratification. There are several things we do just for the sake of gratification each and every day, from morning to evening and from evening to morning, during the whole day, during the whole night. We people are found doing certain things for the sake of gratification. Now, as for these things which are being done for the sake of gratification, should be delayed and should be deferred for a little bit of the time, so that we could be able to develop a kind of patience which is needed, a kind of patience which is much much needed. And not only this thing, rather, whatever we are doing for the sake of gratification, for the sake of entertainment and amusement, for the sake of replenishment, I think that we need to bring certain small changes in it, so that it will benefit us in several ways. First of all, a developed patience and a developed self control, it is of a extremely beneficial. On the other hand, I think that mixing the new thing, I think changing the things which are needed for the sake of gratification and amusement, for the sake of entertainment and replenishment. I think so. On the one hand, this thing will bring us the automatic, the sudden, the effortless discoveries. The effortless discoveries will be brought forward by this attitude, by this habit of our, the habit of changing and doing certain other things, at least partially, if not fully. Then then last but not the least, we need to do certain things which are not so pleasant, which are not so enjoyable. Usually the people don't want to do it, the people avoid it, although these are not harmful, rather these are beneficial, but the people don't want to do it because it is not so pleasant, because it is not so enjoyable, because it is not so easy to do that. Now we should be doing those things in a routine, or at least one in a day, at least one in a day, so that it could make us a strong human being. It could make us a more and even more effective human being. Let me assure you with enough amount of confidence that this exercise will make us a more effective human being, and for those all reasons we will be able to live in quite a confident manner. These are actually the confidence boosters, if at all, even if they are not needed, yet these things become our confidence boosters. But let me tell you, rather, let me repeat that in a society like that of ours, we would be in need of this like exercises at any moment during our life. We need to stay prepared, we need to maintain our preparedness for the sake of emergency. Thank you.